Hi, this is Coach Colette, host of the Start Within podcast, and welcome to this week's episode of Financial Fridays. Today, I wanted to share a recognition day that's coming up this weekend on Sunday. It's called National I Care About You Day. And I thought it would be good to speak about, especially given all that we are dealing with the pandemic and all of the racial and social unrest and the combative political landscape. So humans, we are wired for relationships. We thrive most when we're connected, and then we feel more lonely when we're disconnected. So we know that in 2020, there have been lots of reasons why we may not be as in close contact with friends, family, and loved ones. So I think that this year, this National I Care About You Day, and hey, let's call it National I Care About You Weekend, that it's going to be important for us to remember all of these benefits of being connected. Good relationships can promote better healing, and healthy relationships set the perfect tone for an overall healthy lifestyle. They can give us a greater sense of purpose. It's natural for us to want to feel needed and like we are part of something better. Research shows that having healthy social relationships makes a bigger impact on our health and well-being. On National I Care About You Day, or this whole weekend, what can you do to show the people in your world that you care about them? It could be as simple as a text or an email or a phone call to let them know that you are thinking about them. Let them know that you care about what's going on in their lives. You know, we also love those stories when we hear that someone has shown up at the register ready to pay for something, whether it's groceries or coffee, and they find out that someone ahead of them in the line has already paid the bill. I know that sometimes in these times that finances can be tight, yet is there a way that you can show some appreciation for others even outside of your circle? It could be in a monetary way, or it could be just noticing something, noticing that the trash needs to be taken out. One of the best things about those stories where someone shows up and finds out that their bill has been paid is that we never really know who the quote hero or shero in the story. So this day is about showing appreciation, showing care, showing support, and for your friends, family, and loved ones, they probably will appreciate knowing that it's coming from you. For people outside of your circle, it might just be even more fun to not let them know it's you, right? Because it's not necessarily about the recognition that we are getting. It's more about showing that appreciation, showing that support, showing that care for someone else. So I hope that you will find small ways today and this weekend to show your care, and you never know, just by doing so, you may receive some care in return. That's all for me for now. Get ready and listen up to today's tip from Singh.
Hello everyone, this is Singh, aka Investing, of the Investing Podcast with your weekly Financial Friday tip. Now is the time to help prepare for the 2021 tax season. Are you maximizing your deductions? Now is the time to speak to an accountant or find an accountant that can help you with your taxes needs, as we have the end of the year coming. So prepare to file your taxes come, January and February 2021. So definitely start preparing for that now so you'll be way ahead of the game come tax season. With that said, that is your weekly Financial Friday tip, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Coach Colette again with this week's Unplugged segment. So there were a couple of articles that came across my radar this week. One was titled, "Founders, It's Still Okay to Not Be Okay." And then the second one came after seeing so many memes and posts on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram with this quote around independence is a trauma response. And so when we think about how we are all dealing with this pandemic and all of the other racial and social unrest, and then we compare that to last year of this time, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know I shared last week and in weeks prior how I have been unexpectedly bumping into my trauma, if you will, around the pandemic and the unrest. And so when I saw the article about it's still okay to not be okay, it reminded me of that and reminds me of how I can almost forget that we're in this situation if I distract myself enough and then come right smack back up into it when I have to think about, oh, right, put on a mask just to go around the corner. And then this aspect of extreme independence being a trauma response. So I'm an only child, if you did not know that already. And so I have always chalked up my independence to that, meaning that I learned at an early age that I would need to depend on myself. And yet now, as I read that article that perhaps the memes are based on, I'm starting to wonder, is there a deeper trauma that perhaps I am either ignoring or that I have stuffed away? I know that I've definitely had experiences where the rug has been pulled out from me. I've been downsized twice in my former corporate career. I was evicted from my last apartment because the new landlords decided to just get everybody out of the building. And so when I think about it, there have been experiences in my life where I have learned that it's safer to depend on myself. And probably that, coupled with being an only child, has really shaped my worldview. Not to mention that I am a solo founder, for the most part, in my business. And so as I work to build Libby, our EFT tapping chatbot, I find that I'm getting easily frustrated when I come across tasks that I really can't do on my own. And I feel often stressed about, well, what if I can't find the right person? Knowing that even if I were to take the time to learn all of the coding skills and learn all of the design skills, it's not impossible. It's not like I couldn't do it, but we may not see the launch of Libby until 2025 if I really went that route. And so it keeps bringing me back to this comfort around independence, the comfort around being able to rely on myself as opposed to the risk and the vulnerability of A, letting folks know when I can't do something, or B, asking for help. And whether that help is help me do it, or find someone that can help me do it, or find the funds that can pay the person to help me do it. And so now I'm sitting with this, and I know that this is unplugged, and I love to wrap things up in a bow and give you this complete transformation message. And yet this week I'm still sitting with this one to see where the trauma is and where my independence responses are sometimes extreme, if that makes sense. So it's interesting when we think about it, because independence is typically seen as a characteristic of strength. And you know that if you've been listening or read any of my marketing, I also have set the intention to #disruptstrong, because there is this sense of strong being not vulnerable. So all of this is connected in my mind. What do you think? Do you sometimes overcompensate to do it all yourself, to take it all on, to not ask for help? And then my favorite is do that and then get mad when people don't help. Yep, raising my hand on that one as well. So I think I'm leaving you all with more questions than answers this week, and that's okay. That's one of the things as a coach and a facilitator, I know that often the questions are sometimes more important than the answers. I hope I have given you something to chew on this weekend and to consider for yourself. Let me know what you think. I am always open to hearing your ideas, your responses to the content that we're sharing on the podcast to make sure that it is helpful, relevant, and helps you to thrive in these challenging times. So be well, get some rest, have a great weekend, and we'll speak again soon. So what is your takeaway from this week's Financial Fridays segment? What might you do differently around your money and your mindset? For more financial advice, you can check out Suki's podcast, Invest Singh, where I also share tips on his Wellness Wednesdays segment. If you enjoyed this episode and haven't already subscribed, you can do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Coach_Colette for more inspiration on personal growth and wellness. Tune in next Friday for another episode and get ready to start within to finish strong.